Before we can determine whether a coaster is going to be groundbreaking or not, we have to discuss some topics. First, I'm going to discuss what kind of coaster KONDAA is, and after that I'm going through different categories such as theming, elements, etc. And on the basis of these categories we can determine whether this coaster is actually going to be groundbreaking or not. If you would be so kind to subscribe to the channel, that would be appreciated. Let's get into the video. Now, what is KONDAA? KONDAA is a future roller coaster in the Belgium amusement park Walibi Belgium. This attraction is being built by the Swiss roller coaster builder Intamin. When open, it's going to be the highest and fastest roller coaster in Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands and France. This coaster has the most airtime moments in the world, 15 to be exact. KONDAA is intended to open at the start of the season. The ride has a height of 164 feet, max speed of 70 miles per hour, an 80-degree drop and 15 airtime moments and 4,000 feet of track. It will have the first ever outer bank turn on a steel coaster, the most airtime on a steel coaster, the first non-inverting cobra roll, and the world's first side bank double down. This coaster can easily be seen as one of the best steel coasters in Europe, if not in the world. First of all, we're gonna talk about the theming. Theming is always important in a theme park. Walibi Belgium does a good job with the theming. Almost every ride in the park has a certain theme or backstory to it. According to the story, 5,000 years ago, a monster named KONDAA came straight from the core of the earth that caused panic among the native tribes. And now he's back. That is the story behind the coaster and I really like it. I think more theme parks should have a story behind some of the coasters. It gives the coaster personality. With the coaster comes a whole new themed area. In that area will be a themed restaurant, a shop and a kiddie coaster. The coaster will be located at the back of the park and will have an exotic theme. If you look at some of the coasters in the park, you will notice that most of them have a story or a certain theme. You have the Calamity Mine, the Become a Mine Train, that is themed to the Belgian mines. You have the Challenge of Turkhamon, the dark ride, where riders follow a 3,000-year-old map found by a certain Professor Xavier Goudet, who wants to donate some gold artifacts from the tomb to the Museum of Antiquity in Cairo. That map would lead them through some secret passages in Turkhamon's tomb to the treasure of this Egyptian pharaoh. What visitors don't know is that the Egyptian god Seth, god of disorder and chaos, has cast a curse on Turkhamon's tomb. Before embarking on their expedition, visitors in the queue are warned by an old seer, Nazir, who tells them about the curse that has killed many predecessors. The only protection that they have is an Ankinator, a laser gun shaped like an Ankh. The other ride that I wanted to discuss is Psyche Underground, where visitors are guests in Fabulous, a colorful city on the planet Chimeria from the music battle. They are invited by Vita, take a guided walking tour of the city, where they will find, among other things, a hotel. But instead of this walk, Vita sends visitors into an old metro station. There is a special machine setup, and on the basis of a show, visitors will board the machine and experience a crazy ride. Now, the reason why I discussed these two rides is because they have a story just like KONDAA, and they have animations and animatronics in the queue line. So hopefully KONDAA will have that as well, because that adds so much more to the ride experience. Next up we have elements. This coaster will provide us with an 80-degree side twisting first drop, the first ever outer bank turn on a steel coaster, the world's first non-inverting cobra roll, and a world's first side bank double down. Now, if you look at these elements, you would be thinking of an RMC coaster. A non-inverting cobra roll is something that no one has ever seen before, so we can't really say if this is going to be a good element or not. It might look insane, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be any good. I honestly never expected that we, a small country, would have the first ever non-inverting cobra roll. That is pretty insane. The outer bank turn is always a good element, but then again, this is going to be the first ever outer bank turn on the steel coaster, so we do not know if this is going to be any good. Even though we haven't seen the side bank double down on any coaster, we have seen a double down on many coasters, so we can expect that this element is going to be great. I'm also going to discuss the airtime in here. The airtime looks out of this world if I see these off-ride POVs and on-ride animations. The first drop looks a lot like Expedition G-Force, and that drop is amazing. There are 15 airtime moments, so we can expect a ride with some top-notch airtime. There is not much to say about the pacing, but I do think that it is going to be great. Like with every other coaster, the pacing is not going to be that great in the first few hours of the day. The coaster has to warm up, but on a hot summer day and with a full train, I think that this coaster is going to fly through these elements. There is no mid-break run during the ride, so that's really good. They have one speed hail hill which divides the coaster into two parts. The park does not have a great skyline. The only ride that you can see from a distance is the drop tower and the pulsar, which is the power splash. You might see a glance of the SLC and the Vekoma wooden coaster, but that's kind of it. So this coaster is going to make the skyline so much better. Honestly, I think that KONDAA is going to be a very good ride. It's going to attract international coaster enthusiasts, which is of course good for the park. I don't know if this is going to be better than Goliath, the interim mega coaster from Walibi Holland, because that ride is internationally recognized as one of the best steel coasters in the world. But that all depends on how reliable the coaster is and how fast the operations are going to be. The operations in Walibi Belgium are okay. I would say it takes like 1 minute to empty a train, let new passengers board the train and to dispatch the train. They usually use 2 trains on a mildly busy day, so it would be foolish if they use 1 train, especially on opening day. So let me know, what do you think? Is KONDAA going to be a groundbreaking ride for theme parks all around the world? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.